Week 12 of the fantasy basketball season. Here's a few guards I look to buy and trade for this week. The first guard, RJ Barrett of the Toronto Raptors. So no doubt about it, Barrett's had a great season this year. 22.4 points a game, 6.6 rebounds, 5.8 assists, 1.8 threes, and 45% from the field. But the last couple weeks, his scoring and rebounding has gone down for Barrett. 17.2 points a game, 5.8 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.2 steals, 1.2 threes, and 46% from the field. He's hit a little bit of a tailspin over the last 4 or 5 games. He is RJ Barrett, but he's a good scorer, and he's been a streaky player throughout his career, especially from the field and shooting the three ball. January 9th at Cleveland, 20 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 threes, 53% from the field. January 11th at the Pistons, 10 points, 6 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, 25% from the field. And January 13th versus the Warriors, 15 points, 4 boards, 5 assists, a 3, 42% from the field. So Barrett, like I said, he's a streak shooter. There's going to be some weeks he puts up big numbers and some weeks he don't do much. Is RJ Barrett in a slump? But right now, with this Toronto Raptor team rebuilding and playing the young guys, it's arguably him and Scotty Barnes, the top 2 players on this roster. Immanuel Quickley, he's been out of the lineup majority of the season. He's banged up a little bit now. And RJ Barrett, there's some games he's going to get some big numbers. So this week, while his numbers have been down over the last few games here, he's a buy low candidate. You still got to give up a decent price to get him, but his numbers have dropped off a little bit. Next guard, Derek White of the Boston Celtics. So Derek White, average-wise this year, his numbers are up a little bit from last season in scoring and three-point shooting. 16.4 points a game, 4.4 boards, 4.3 assists, 1 steal, a block a game, 3.4 threes, and 44% from the field. But the last couple weeks, his numbers have dropped off across the board, and I think that's to do with Porzingis being back in the lineup more consistently the last few weeks as well. 13.8 points a game, 3 boards, 2.6 assists, a steal, 2 blocks, 2.6 threes, and 38% from the field. So he's in a shooting slump. Is Derek White. And especially the last 3 games, his numbers have been non-existent. January 5th at the Thunder, 11 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, a steal, 3 blocks, 2 threes, 30% from the field. January 10th versus the Kings in a bad loss, 3 points, a board, 3 assists, a steal, 2 blocks, 12% from the field. And January 12th versus the Pelicans, 6 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, 3 steals, a block, 16% from the field. So he's one of the best shot blocking guards in the league is Derek White. He's got good hand stealing the basketball, a good defender as well. But right now, scoring, 3-point shooting, and his rebounding has been down over the last few games. So right now, White's in a tailspin, and his numbers are way down across the board, and this is the lowest his value will be because he could go out there tonight and drop 34, we know, with Toronto. So before this ball game, I would try to put my offer out there for Derek White and get him on your roster because, like I said, he does it all as White, 4-5 category type of ball player. And on a team with a loaded roster, obviously, Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Jrue Holiday, and Kristaps Porzingis, the numbers at times are going to go down. But right now, while they're way down, he's a perfect buy low candidate this week. In the third and final guard I look to buy and trade for is Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks. So Doncic, we know he's MVP caliber every season, but this year, major injuries, and he's been out for a while with a calf injury already, Doncic. The last time we saw him in the lineup is Christmas Day versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's been out already 2.5 weeks for this Maverick team. And reports have come out he's going to return most likely before the All-Star game is Luka Doncic. But we still don't know that 100%. So right now, while he's on the shelf and his value is at its lowest, you're still going to have to pay a premium price, but not as high, obviously. If he was playing right now on the season, 28.1 points a game, 8.3 rebounds, 7.8 assists, 2 steals, 3.4 threes, and 46% from the field. So Doncic from last season to this year, his points are down 5 points per game, rebounding down about 1 per game, and his assists were down as well 2 a game for Luka Doncic. So numbers definitely down across the board this season for Doncic. And now with this calf injury, that's going to take time for him to get back into game shape, I believe, and his legs under him. It could take to after the All-Star break till he gets back to full form. So right now, while he's on the shelf, like I said, is Doncic, and his numbers dropped just a bit, even though he's still an elite player, obviously. This will be a time to buy him low, because if he comes back and has a couple monster games in a row, triple-doubles, over 30 points, or whatever the case may be, obviously he will be back at peak value. But right now, while it's idle and nothing's going on, I would try to make a deal for him this week. So that's a few guards I look to buy and trade for Week 12 of the fantasy basketball season.